The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Heads up commuters, today is the first day of the new LRT fare increase. Starting today, the minimum fare for LRT 1 will be at 14 pesos, while the Roosevelt to Baclaran route will cost 35 pesos. The fare previously ranged from 12 to 30 pesos. Meanwhile, in LRT 2, a similar fare increase is in effect. According to the Light Rail Transit Authority Administration, commuters won't feel the increase that much. They added that the proceeds will be allocated for facility improvements as well as operation costs.
Based on sa analysis namin, 20% ng pasahero natin walang mararamdamang increase. And then yung 5 pesos na sinasabi ko, ang makakaramdam lang doon mga less than 50%. Yun ang gagamitin natin sa yung operasyon natin, sa maintenance natin, sa mga upgrading.
The Maritime Industry Authority or Marina discovered that the captain of the passenger boat that capsized in Binangonan did not have a valid license. The Marina's investigation found no record of one Donal Anain having a license to act as captain. Anain is now detained and is facing criminal charges along with the owner of the boat, who is also a member of the Philippine Coast Guard. Recall that the passenger boat capsized off the coast of Binangonan, Rizal last July 27, with 27 dead in the tragedy. The Philippine Coast Guard says it is possible that insurance over the incident may not be claimed due to several violations.
May insurance siya. Ang problema lang, pag overloaded yung bangka or walang lisensya yung boat captain, void yung insurance.
Search and rescue operations for another missing Cessna plane in Cagayan resumes today. The two-seater plane went missing on Tuesday afternoon, a few minutes after it had taken off from Lawag City. It was carrying 2 people, the pilot and an Indian student pilot. The plane was supposed to land in Tuguegarao City at around 1 in the afternoon. It was last monitored some 32 nautical miles northwest of Alcala town in Cagayan. Rescue operations were conducted on Tuesday, but was halted due to the setting sun and inclement weather. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Department shows Typhoon Egay has cost nearly 3 billion pesos worth of damages in the agriculture sector, spanning an area of over 160,000 hectares. Rice logged the most loss at over 33,000 metric tons, valued at over 1 billion pesos. That's over a 92,000 hectare areas affected. Meanwhile, the volume loss of corn is pegged at around 53,000 metric tons. That's nearly 1 billion pesos worth of corn. Losses in high-value crops stand at 235 million pesos, translating to some 11,000 metric tons. Over 8,900 farm animals have also been lost due to Egay. These include chickens, ducks, swine, cattle, carabao, and goats, among others. The total value is estimated at around 11 million pesos. Egay has likewise damaged farming infrastructure, amounting to over 350 million pesos. In the fisheries sector, some 1,200 fisher folk were affected by the typhoon, which destroyed about 175 million pesos worth of fisheries and fishing equipment. With all these, the government is now looking at available interventions to mitigate Egay's effects. For this, the Agriculture Department is closely coordinating with affected local government units. The government announces that it will import over 1 million metric tons of rice this year after President Marcos expressed concern over the impact of recent typhoons and the looming effects of El Nino on the agriculture sector. The Agriculture Department says it's planning to import some 1.3 million metric tons of rice this year. The agency says this is to ensure that the country has enough supply before the harvest season, which would only start by September or October. A farmers group has earlier warned that rice supply could hit the critical level by September, as current stocks can only last until end of August. The Federation of Free Farmers also warned that the lean months or the months leading up to rice harvest could extend further due to the impact of recent typhoons on agriculture. As early as now, prices of rice have started to climb in wet markets in Metro Manila. Prices of local rice climbed to around 37 to 49 pesos depending on the variety. This marks an increase of up to 1 to 2 pesos. Price increases for imported rice are even steeper at around 1 to 3 pesos. Imported rice prices are now at 41 to 58 pesos per kilo depending on the variety. But some vendors warn prices will climb further in the next few days.
Hindi lang yan daw, may susunod pang pagtaas. Eh sabi ko, paano na yan? Kawawa naman yung mga walang pambili. Hindi bali mayayaman, kaya nila yan. Eh yung mga maliliit na tao na ang maasa lang sa minimum wage, may ibibili nila.
The DA explains that prices of rice have begun to go up because of higher prices of fertilizer as well as petroleum. Still, President Marcos, who's also Agriculture Secretary, assures Filipinos that the country has enough supply of rice.
Baka naman, sa ngayon, the supply is okay. Yun lamang ay yung mga inputs pa rin ng agricultural inputs ay tinitignan natin na mabuti para tiyakin na hindi naman masyadong tataas ang presyo ng bigas.
In weather, the southwest monsoon or habagat will continue to affect most parts of the country. That is being enhanced by Typhoon Falcon, which has already exited the Philippine area of responsibility. It was last spotted some 765 kilometers northeast of Itbayat, Batanes, heading towards Japan. Habagat will continue to bring monsoon rains over Zambales and Bataan until Friday. Metro Manila, Ilocos, Pampanga, Bulacan, and Occidental Mindoro may experience occasional rains. The rest of the country may also expect rains due to both habagat and localized thunderstorms. Classes in all levels are still suspended in Calasiao and Dagupan City in Pangasinan and the entire province of Pampanga. Government work is also suspended in Dagupan City, Pangasinan, some parts of Pampanga, and the entire province of Bulacan. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.